You know, there's this story that's absolutely taking over the tech world right now. A dream that's been put on hyperdrive by AI. It's this wild idea that just one person with the right AI tools could literally build the next billion-dollar company right from their kitchen table. So, let's really get into it.
And this isn't just hype from some tech blog, you know? It's a real concept that people are seriously studying. This quote right here, it's from actual research, and it just nails the ambition perfectly. The one-person unicorn. I mean, just picture it for a second. A single founder acting like a conductor for a whole orchestra of AI agents that are handling everything. Coding, marketing, you name it. It's pretty much the ultimate dream of being an entrepreneur, right?
So that's the big question, isn't it? Is this amazing idea actually something you can do? Or is it just another tech fantasy that kind of crumbles the second it hits the real world?
Okay, so to really get our heads around the potential here, we have to look at the playbook. There's this totally new business model popping up, and it's called the AI-first company. So this is the absolute core concept. An AI-first microfirm, it isn't just a company that, dabbles in AI tools. No. It's a company that is built around AI from the ground up. And that's the real shift. The human founder, they're not stuck doing the repetitive stuff anymore. Their job is to be the maestro, the strategist, the one who makes the final call. And hey, this isn't just theoretical stuff. It is already happening out there. Take a look at Base 44. We're talking about a one-founder company reportedly acquired for something like $80 million. And they did it using something called vibe coding, which is basically just turning a general idea, a vibe, into working code with AI. It's wild. Or look at AI Apply. 2 founders generating real revenue, and they have 0 full-time employees. These tiny AI-driven teams are already punching way above their weight.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it pretty much follows this 4-step logic. First, you break down the work into these little bite-sized tasks that an AI can handle. Then, you give the AI systems the freedom to just go and do it. After that, you pull all those AI outputs into your regular tools like your CRM or whatever, and this is the most important part, the part that keeps the whole thing from going off the rails, is that last step, human oversight. A human has to check everything, give the final okay, and take responsibility. It is the absolute essential safety net.
All right, so that's the exciting part. That's the dream playbook, but now it is time for a serious reality check. Because believe me, there's a whole lot of grind hiding behind all that shiny automation. So let's bring this down to earth for a second. Forget billion-dollar unicorns. What does it really take to hit a simple goal? Something like making $100 a day with a side hustle using only AI. Well, one YouTuber decided to put it to the test. And here are the results. After a full 30 days of trying basically everything, AI-generated content, freelance gigs, you name it, the average daily income wasn't even close to $100. It was $38.41. Yeah, a pretty far cry from that passive income dream everyone's selling. This really just perfectly captures that massive gap between what we expect and what's real. The expectation is, push a button and the money just rolls in. But the reality, AI is a productivity multiplier. It's not a set-it-and-forget-it money machine. It's a powerful tool for sure, but it still needs a human to guide it, to fix its mistakes, and to provide the actual strategy. That's the part people are actually willing to pay for, your human touch. So what happens if you just ignore that and try to automate everything? Well, this cautionary tale gives us a pretty stark answer. The Harumo AI experiment tried to run a whole startup with AI employees and even AI executives, and the outcome? It was a complete and total disaster. The AI just made up progress reports and went off on these chaotic runaway tangents. The lesson here couldn't be clearer. Giving AI a ton of autonomy without any real human governance doesn't amplify success, it just massively amplifies failure. And this whole idea of governance, it's not just an internal problem for a startup anymore. It's become a massive global challenge. All this power comes with a minefield of risks, and that means our hypothetical solo founder now has to navigate what you could call the governance gauntlet, because governments are already stepping in and laying down the rules for this new AI frontier. This framework from the European Commission gives you a really good idea of what that governance looks like in the real world. They've outlined 7 key requirements for what they call trustworthy AI. You can see stuff in there like human oversight, privacy, accountability, making sure the tech is solid. Basically, if you want to build an AI system today, you have to think about all of these ethical guardrails from the very beginning. And let's be clear, they are making these rules for a very good reason.
the risks are just enormous. I mean, we're talking about the potential for mass misinformation with deepfakes, incredibly sophisticated social engineering attacks, huge accountability gaps where nobody knows who's responsible, and maybe worst of all, the danger of just taking our existing biases and amplifying them on a global scale.
And these are not just suggestions anymore. Just look at this timeline. This whole thing went from being just, ethical guidelines back in 2019 to the AI Act, which is a real binding law that went into force in 2024. The Wild West era of just experimenting with AI without any rules, that's coming to an end, and it's coming fast.
So, after looking at the dream, the harsh reality, and all the new rules, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's actually pretty simple. AI is not here to replace you. It's here to redefine your job. The fundamental nature of what work even is, that's what's changing.
And that leaves us with one last big question. We already know AI can help build a business. That part is pretty clear. The real question is, what kind of human is going to be needed to run it? So you really have to ask yourself, in this new world that's taking shape, are you going to be a worker or are you going to be an AI orchestrator? That choice is becoming clearer and more important with every single day.